everybody.
Hi, welcome
Welcome. Happy Sunday, which I also call Fun Day. So make sure you get out fun today because,
totally.
and today is the day, it is Sun's Day. So it's important to remember that as you go through your day, is to be a ray of sunshine. Yeah. So good to see you, Michelle.
Good to see you as well, Tanya. And wow, here we are, so close to the Egypt journey. Do you know the days? How many days away is it?
I should do a countdown on the website. You're absolutely right.
I think there is a countdown. Oh, actually, it's on my website. There is a countdown because you can find the Egypt journey under events on my website, and there is a countdown to days. I might even just pop over there and bring that up so we can look at it.
Share it. Absolutely. So we're leaving early, the three of us. And for some reason that seems important to say. So Ashala, myself, and Norma are heading over early to set up the container, to get ourselves in such a way that we can host you in the most beautiful way. So we're not all showing up at the same time. We'll already be there. We'll already be stabilized to welcome you in and help you drop in even more beautifully. Yeah. And
it's
so we are
supportive.
Yeah.
I just found it. 48 days to the event. Here, I'm going to screen share this. Let me get back to where we are here. And I think I can screen share. Yes.
You should be able to.
Okay, great.
If you can, that's okay. Hello.
There it is. Yeah. So here's the Egypt trip, 48 days to the event. And I'm just going to see about pulling this up.
Beautiful.
This VP, there it is. Saturday, May 9th, Cairo, Luxor, Aswan. Yeah.
And secret surprises.
So you can find out more information on going to that RSVP on the website on Eye of the World under events.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so everyone knows. There we go. That's better. Everyone knows. I spoke with Amir the other day, and Amir I met when I first went solo to Egypt, and I met him in a random way, and there's no coincidences. And so he's been with us every time we go, and this is our third adventure, and I keep in touch with him in between, and we had a beautiful conversation, and there's been some concern about the Middle East and what's going on. And I just want to be really clear, because my first reaction when Ashal and I spoke about it was, oh, there's going to be less people there. Awesome. And I knew when I spoke to Amir, because I've been there a couple times, and I think even the first time I went, there was concerns with what was going on in the Middle East. Isn't there always? And Egypt was so safe and so fine. There's one red zone in Egypt that nobody gets to go to anyway. But then other than that, it's clear. And he confirmed for me, he goes, oh yeah, it is so safe. As long as you're not flying through a Middle Eastern country, that's where you'll have issue. So we fly from Vancouver to the UK, then over to Egypt. Not a peep from anything so far. And that's my complete understanding on this, is many will be afraid to go, and that's okay, because it means it'll be less busy for those of us that embark on the adventure. Yeah.
And it's an adventure that's so purpose driven. I have heard stories in the last month of all these extraordinary humans, myself included. I guess I could call myself that. Extraordinary, that have had such a deep, profound relationship with Egypt, and yet haven't made a journey in person, in body, in this lifetime till now. And I've heard about like 4 or 5 different people that fall into that category, and they're being called there right now. You know, Regina Meredith from Gaia
Yes.
is one
Yes.
example of that. And, you know, someone like her, I couldn't even believe it when she said she'd never been to Egypt. And similar to myself, she was saying that all these opportunities she's had over the years, same with me. I had a best
Mhm.
friend that did Egypt tours for like 20 years. And I was supposed to go like 5 or 6 different times, and every time something happened that it was like, "No, no, not right now, not right now, not right now." Hi, Cindy. And then I meet Tanya and we start sharing, and she's explaining the types of trips that she does, which are not really trips, they're journeys. They're spiritual journeys.
Yeah.
And right away, the resonance was so strong. And going and doing another event, 2 of them actually with her in the last few years, I discovered this is the person I want to travel with. The way we explore, the way we show up and hold space. It's not just about, oh, I'm a tourist, give me all the things I want. You know, I want to have this amazing experience. It's like, I recognize I'm a spiritual being and I have a purpose here. I'm not
Yeah.
going to try to pretend that I know it all and I'm here to fix, you know, the area or the sacred sites or whatever, but to show up in that heart-centered humility and recognize this is a very precious moment in time. This is such a radical turning point on planet Earth. And there, if there was ever a time to go to that region of the world and bring the very best of all of who you are, this is the perfect opportunity for that. And I feel it couldn't be more divinely orchestrated. And I'm so humbly honored to be called to go at this time,
Yeah.
really, you
Yeah.
know?
It's
So we're reaching out to offer any of you that might have been sort of having this in the possibility pile over the last few months, that we do have a space left, and we would love to open that for you. And if you're feeling that same sense of, wow, even though there's that trouble, and I think proximity, right? Like I was just saying to Tanya before we came on the call, like once you get into the Mediterranean area, like it doesn't matter where you go in Europe, somewhere in Europe, or you
Greece.
know,
Greece is right
yeah,
there.
like it's all so close to Iran that, like, especially for us here in North America, it's like, oh yeah, that's just the next state over, right? Like it's very, very close. So it's not like we're going to be right, as you say, in the trouble zone, but on the edge of that, to be able to bring healing energy to that area. And I think you're right, Tanya, in saying that this is such a moment of literal peace on
Yeah.
earth. Like the buzz, the hubbub, the people that want to go to give me all the tourist experiences, they're not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are. And I feel it's, yeah, even in the last week or two, as this whole scenario in the Middle East is unfolding, my feeling of the correctness of alignment with it is getting stronger. As you've said too, Tanya, are you having that experience too?
Absolutely. Well, because I've been there and I've been there solo by myself, and everyone thought I was crazy. I went with no agenda. I didn't hook up a tour. I just went. I had a couple connections, but I was like, took my dosing rods and was like, all right, let's go. Because
Yeah.
that's how I love to adventure. And I felt so safe and so taken care of. Even in regular places, I did not feel inundated. I have an energy about me that is, I'm a Leo. So it's I don't walk in meek. I walk like I'm meant to be here. And in
Mm-hmm.
just that small shift where a lot of people are, cover up, we're in a Middle Eastern company. It's like, no, I'm not gonna like show my chest, but I'm gonna walk as if I'm meant to be here, and I am, because I believe we've all had timelines, past lives in Egypt, and I had so many rememberings, so many vivid dreams that showed me many things, and I
Mm.
refused to walk with any of the regular tour guides. I'm like, I don't wanna be programmed. I did go into the museum and all I heard was fake, fake, fake. Like, what's in the museum is a nice replica, it's cool to see, but it's not the original. And so I kept asking for, no, I don't want to go see that temple that is like a sandcastle made up. I want to go see the real temple. And I kept asking, I don't care where it is, take me. And I got taken to some really beautiful areas that very few people tend to express to go, because
Mhm.
not they're not using their own discernment, or they're just
Yeah.
going with the
Yep.
flow and enjoying the
Yep.
tourist, which is fine too, but we go
Mhm.
deeper, and it's more of an inner journey, and sitting for 20 or 30 minutes in one space and closing your eyes
Yes.
and taking
Yes.
your breath and slowing it down and maybe asking some questions or listening for
Mhm.
messages. It's a
Mhm.
co-creation adventure in that way, and I'm just so honored for the souls that have come in that we've been meeting monthly, and I'm just so grateful to know a little inkling of each and what I think may transpire in Egypt for them, but then I'm not putting any expectations on it because I think something even more magical will unfold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our group size right now, we're getting up to, getting up to the close to the dozen mark. And this
Including
is,
us,
yeah,
including
including us.
us. So that
Yep.
yeah,
So it's
so
not a huge group, but it's also not a tiny group. It's a beautiful number that is already creating an energy. We've been meeting monthly as people start coming on, for what now, 6 months or more.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll continue after just to
And we'll
help to
continue after to
yeah,
help integrate and, yeah, continue that journey of self-discovery and also deeper connection, meaningful connection. Now, I want to share with all of you as well, if I haven't mentioned before, that one of the things I love about journeying with Tanya is she is an incredible caretaker of, I wanna say, just all the things that make a pleasurable experience. She has this way of knowing now's the time to bring out the smudge, now's the time to bring out the tray of goodies, now's the time. She just is constantly kind of weaving us along and as reading the group and knowing what to present into the mix. Not because it's on the agenda at 11:05, but because the group feels like this is where we're going and this is what we need. And this is a very rare quality in a tour guide, in a journey guide. It's more like a sacred ceremonial journey guide, and the whole event is laid out like this. So including the curated locations that we're going to be staying and why we're staying there and who the people that will be hosting us are. Do you want to share with us a little bit more about that, Tanya?
yeah, absolutely, and while you were saying that, we'll be dancing with the divine as we're there. This is
Yeah.
part of that sacred journey. And then the other thing that's been coming in is it's like, yeah, we're a gang of girls and we're remembering how to play,
Oh.
right? To play together and to celebrate each other. And so there's just so much joy within me right now around
Yeah.
this because I can feel how we're going to feel while we're there. I can be there. And every time I step in, so I really curated, and this began when I took a bigger group last time, was to make sure that in Egypt, in Cairo is very dense. It's heavier energy. It's busy, and many people will stay in an apartment or in a in a condo, but we're actually on our own property in farmland. And what that means is it's got a gated community. We have a huge lawn. I really need to find croquet for that, as I mentioned, because that's just so fun to play.
Oh, we just cut out there for a sec, Tanya. I
Did
don't know if
I?
it was on your end too. I cut out there. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, okay.
So just
And
repeat what you
so
just said.
okay, and so we have a huge, gated community in farmland. That means there's not a ton of traffic. It's
Mm,
quieter. The energy is it's our space. It's our energy within that space. There's a pool and there's tons of room. So everybody's gonna have, hey, you need a few minutes by yourself, or two people wanna go chat. There's lots of like nooks and crannies to go hang out in, to journal and to be by yourself. And so after coming through and going into Cairo and going and having those experiences, to be able to come back and integrate and just be and regulate yourself, and not in a, that you need to regulate yourself. Sometimes there'll be tears. There's some tough things to see there where your heart's going to go out to the people. And that's one of the reasons I love Egypt, because there's some ideas brewing around that. And then we're actually flying from Cairo up to Luxor, because it's a very long drive in the
mhm,
desert, nothing to
mhm,
see, in a
mhm.
car, and it's 9 hours. And I was like, "Oh, heck no." Hi,
Hi,
Lupo.
Lupa.
So we're flying, and then that's
Mhm,
like just over an hour. So, and then you get to see from the air. You get to see
mhm,
another
mhm.
perspective. And as we tap down there, we stay on a lake. And this is a fellow that we haven't stayed at this hotel, but this is his newest hotel. So he's got two. And this one, we can literally, we can walk ourselves a bit more around. And I really love that versus having to get in the car. And so I'm
Oh,
trying to
great.
bridge those things where we get to
Mhm.
experience on foot. And the last time I was in Luxor, I meandered. And so coming into Luxor and going over on the ferry and then walking down to Luxor, this is the procession that was done off the boats. And so to
Oh, I'm
re-walk,
getting the chills when you say that.
this is what happens. And so there's so much about those temples, and you know, we all believe them to be something, but I think there's many opportunities to see other perspectives.
Yes.
And Karnak
Mm,
in itself is quite interesting, how it adjusts the human mind and body, the
mhm,
where you go and how you walk through it. So we'll experience that and talk about it as we go through. And
mhm.
then we're gonna be in a car down to Aswan, because it's only a few hours, where we're staying on the Nile with a small Nubian hotel, so very boutique. And there is an opportunity to go to the original Isis temple there, to explore a bit more. And I don't want to spoil any surprises. So we're not just seeing the main temples like Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Luxor, the Giza Plateau. There's others that we'll go and step into. And I tend not to choose those until we're a little closer to it, so that I can figure out which ones are the ones we're meant to go to. And
Yeah.
that's just how it is. Also in Luxor, there's an amazing opportunity for hot air ballooning, which is super fun.
Oh,
And get
I
out and see
mean,
the
I
sunset.
get this feeling, and I know from doing other retreats with you, Tanya, that and it's the way I operate when I go, I'm hearing like walkabout, when I go to
Yeah,
explore and journey and have an experience, it's like going into a dream, really, a sacred journey like this. And so instead of it being all regimented and cut up with this
no,
itinerary, it's literally like we could, in the moment, I know this about Tanya, we could, as a group, have a feeling about something
yeah,
and we will just reorient around that. Like
yeah,
this is a shared experience of designing. Obviously, there's beautiful, inspiring, curated opportunities for us to explore. And there's also space for more to unfold.
absolutely. I give a rough itinerary. Like, here's when we get on the plane. Here's where we're staying. But everything else is sort of in this beautiful, it's flow, because you almost become, as a group, we become like cells that merge together and become a cohesive dance. And
Mhm,
if we're too, I was reading about another group. I'm in a few Egypt groups just to witness what's going on and how it's happening.
mhm.
And it's quite interesting. This couple was so upset, but they were in a group of 40 people and they felt so rushed. And they were like, they came home and needed a vacation from the vacation. I was like, "Oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no."
No, this
There's
will
so much.
fill your well. This will fill your
Yeah,
well.
we're even staying the last day back at the same house we began at, because the more I looked around sort of like the airport to make it easier and possibly cost a little less, I was like, "No, no, no, we need to end this in reverence of a closing ceremony, even in the space we began, so that everybody feels connected and held there, and then we'll shift out." So that was really important for me as well. So
Yes.
it's not it's not, it's not like any other tour I've seen unless you went one-on-one with someone, which is how I operate when I go by myself to explore an
Mhm,
area. And just so people know, I have traveled the world, and I love to, like, be dropped and go, "All right, what am I gonna do?" And it
mhm,
drives other people a little bit crazy that worry about me, but then I'm like, "But you don't come with me, so you don't know my energy." So I've traveled, like, Italy, Croatia, Rome by myself, all down the Amalfi Coast, and you end up meeting people, and it's
mhm,
such a beautiful experience that way. Egypt
mhm.
aside or not, the people are wonderful. I
Oh,
left Karnak one day, and I was
mm,
just wandering. I'm like, "I'm just gonna wander back." And I ended up down a dead-end little street, and all these families were hanging out. I'll call it an alleyway for lack of a better word, but it was like their commonplace. And the father, he spoke English, and he's, "Would you like to have tea?" Like they're like, "What are you doing here?"
yeah.
And his
Well,
father had just transitioned recently, and we had a
oh,
beautiful conversation around that. And all of them were like amazed that I was there. Like, "How did you get here? What happened?"
and just to be clear, when you say transitioned, you mean passed away,
Right. Yes.
not the other version.
Yeah, and so we had a beautiful conversation around grief, and is death is not the end, but you need
Mm,
to go through the grieving process, and so there was so much honor, and because Egypt has such a reverence for those transitions in life, for the birth and the
mhm.
death, right? There's such ceremony and honor in that. So I
Yeah.
just felt really blessed to sit there and have a conversation with them. It was magical. Did I plan that? No. So these are the little pieces and the things that can just light the soul up in a new way for experiences that you could never predict. So I never have expectations. I just
Mhm,
show up and see
mhm.
what unfolds, knowing, even if it's a little bumpy, that that was meant to be that way.
Yeah,
And I get to navigate it because that's what I do. Yeah.
yeah,
Do you have some
yeah.
cards for this, Ashella?
I could do some cards for this. Yes,
Yeah.
totally. I was just about to say something. What was it about? Oh yeah, I know what it was. Um, it was about people in that area of the world. There's something about when trouble arises, instead of coming together as a human heart, as a one heart,
Mm,
the tendency is to go into fear and scatter into the corner and basically not abandon the people that are close to the challenge, but kind of just disappear, like sort of like fair weather friend humanity. And I'm not talking about we all have to go right to the ground zero front line and do work, but I feel as though showing up with our hearts open, very
yeah,
grounded, very
yeah,
caring, very present, humble, it's going to lift the spirit of the region, because people will be like, look at those beautiful ladies. And by the way, we're kind of like a middle-aged girl crew, right? It's
yeah.
more or less a middle-aged female crew, which is
We're a girl gang.
the the power,
Yeah,
matriarchal power energy is just off the charts. And then of course, awake, conscious, spiritually oriented. Wow, and all that I have, connected with in our group, so generous spirited, fun loving, like what an amazing I want to say, like a posse of just this
right? Posse
beautiful,
of possibilities.
yeah, and just this beautiful rippling out that energy.
Yeah.
to the people there where they're like, wow, the West is here.
Right?
The Western women, the Western matriarchs are here. Whew,
Yeah.
I got chilled all down my spine when I said that. Like the Elder Matriarch Council that I've been seeing in readings for years now. And it comes around things like this where we just feel called to show up, do this work together as a celebration, not as work. And next thing you know, we're creating change in the area that we've showed up to. We thought we were coming for a goddess retreat, and we ended up beyond that, sharing this incredible healing magic that we've constellated. So to me, yeah, if you feel that this is something that you've been sensing might be a possibility, there's still some time. Just before I pull cards, Tanya, what would be the cutoff for someone if they wanted to come? How much time do they have? Obviously, you'd like sooner than later, but they have to get their visa sorted out and so on. So
Yeah, I'd say within 3 weeks would be the absolute limit,
okay,
and hopefully you're flying on points because, yeah, the flight is better now than it will be in a couple weeks, most likely, the way the airlines work. Yeah.
okay. So getting a
Yeah.
flight within the next couple of weeks, and 3 weeks is the kind of cutoff. So we're looking at like the end of the first week of April kind of being a cutoff.
Yeah, and really if you have any questions on adventuresforconnection.com, there's a free schedule a call with me. It's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit with me. Let's have a chat. And if anybody in general wants to do that anyway, I'm always open for conversation. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first two that looks funny there. The first two that came up is I don't have my other camera plugged in, so
That's okay.
but the first two that came up are King of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So really, what I'm getting, and I've been feeling and sensing this all over the planet, I believe that our ley lines are realigning.
Yes.
Sacred sites zones are being lit up and also transferred to new location or old location. Like a lot of I want to say, I got this in one of my forecasts a week or two ago, where, for example, the portal that's open in Iran that is highly sought after because it was a very powerful portal that basically the deep state designed themselves from that portal. So that it's actually no longer really functional. Like it's kind of shifted. That portal isn't even there anymore, really. So what we're looking at is old sites coming back to life and becoming new sites, and therefore bringing this energy to these places as we're being called, and like activating in a very, very grounded way.
Yeah.
So this isn't just about, um, you know, this isn't just about the mind. This is about the body. This is about medicine. It's about, yeah, like I'm hearing alchemy and medicine and the material magic, the material
Yeah.
realm of magic. So we're being called to be part of this redesign phase that's coming in really strong right now. And yeah, I keep getting there's something about the way we travel that we're kind of creating almost like a new song line, a new storyline through the temples, because we're not seeing it the way it's been done in these
Yeah.
last few centuries. We're doing it maybe an older way. And so yeah, this
Yeah.
is,
There's
and it's so gentle, right? The 6 is, for one thing, if you've got the Hierophant with the King of Pentacles underneath him, that's going to be a much healthier version of the Hierophant than what we've had on the planet for the last 7 or 8,000 years, which is the priest class, which is the deep state control class, right?
mm,
This is the Hierophant, which is about bringing like spiritual consciousness into 3D through materially manifesting new earth in beautiful harmonic frequency of gardens and like gorgeous architecture that isn't just about someone's, being a king and the rain and all that kind of stuff. Architecture that's about opening the human heart and grounding us. So
Yeah.
this is part of why we're going right now. And we are part of a wave of a few people that are being called there to sort of start this new flow, start this new energy.
Yeah.
And in a more mundane way, this Six of Swords is, it is moving out of troubled water. So I really get that while we're there, like in the next 6 weeks, this conflict that's happening will begin to shift in a better way. And we're also, we're going to be talking about it from that place. We're going to be referencing what's going on from a place of love and presence,
Yeah.
curiosity, open-heartedness, not from a place of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's reminding me almost of when kids get into a scrap in the playground and then grandma comes out and she's like, "Okay, there. Now come on in and like, we'll get you some we'll get you something yummy in your tummy and now you just sit down there and like you make friends and say you're sorry, right? But grandma just makes it feel so safe that everybody's like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah. Everyone puddles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's just that beautiful energy of that potent divine feminine grace and strength, and like the strength card, this, bringing alignment in through the heart. So there we go. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned about the ley line shifting, and I've done years of traveling to different areas, and not like last time we went down to Mexico. I've never driven so much in Mexico in my life. I'm like, why am I driving so much? And every time I sat with my eyes closed, it was showing me that I was creating like, all right, we're going to move this here, and this energy is going to go over here. But I don't get to know as the human. I don't get to know that because they don't want me to know, because then I show up as the innocent human I am, not knowing what other work is being
Yes.
done. So this is what's so significant that people maybe don't even realize, because there's many times where I've traveled and then something significant happens afterwards or during, or even that all those ladies were just down that are coming to Egypt were just down in Mexico at the same time,
Yeah.
right? I
Yes.
mean, there
So,
are
like,
no,
what, 3 or 4 of them were down in Mexico at the
yeah,
same time, right when
yeah,
all the trouble was happening down there. So it's kinda like, "Oh, we're something there's a theme here."
right?
And
Yeah.
they also stayed really heart-centered and found that it was actually a very extraordinary, deep
Yeah,
experience that
yeah,
did the opposite of frightening them. It helped them feel more connected and more right where they're supposed to be.
yeah, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah, and it's so much of being in this form and being in this life is not about escaping to higher realms as it is to get more connected with yourself deeper, including your body. And so there's much reverence for each individual body and what they need to feel nourished. And I've got a little kit coming with just in case, right? So just know that it's about being deeply connected all the way through,
Yeah.
all the way through.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm hearing. It's integrating all, this it's the human experience isn't about escaping
no,
the physical, the 3D, the 1, 2, and 3D. It's about integrating it with such health. It's
yeah,
kinda like saying, "Oh, I don't want this body. I'm just gonna cut the tree, and there's my
right?
tree."
Right?
Meanwhile, it's still putting the rippling energy out into the world. Um, but we wanna make this healthy. We wanna, like, make the roots healthy,
Yeah.
make the
Yeah.
whole being healthy, and then it becomes this incredible channel for higher consciousness and interdimensional, all the
Yeah.
actualizations that
You
are
can't do it
possible.
without the body.
No, no.
So deep reverence for the body and for what the body needs. Like, I know some people might be vegan and some people might need meat. Like, all of that is curated within, because we do have that combo happening, and I'm used to that as well. Like for dad, it's like everybody gets what they need, if not a little more than what they even wanted, right? To make sure they have an offering to choose from versus, oh, here's what you get.
Yeah. And I really have appreciated that
Yeah.
journeying with you, Tanya, that I feel so cared for and held. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be amazing. And yeah, I guess just to close off by saying that
Mm.
I feel that if you are the person meant to come, please reach out, contact Tanya. So the link is going to be below where you can just go to
Yeah.
Adventures for Connection and book a conversation with her just to ask some questions.
Yeah.
And she'll be more than happy to answer those questions.
Yeah,
And
put me
we'd
to the
love to
test.
see you there. Yeah.
I love it. And I'm so excited for this place. So Michelle and I have been hanging out a bit. She came and stayed overnight. So the two of us together, when we get together, it's like this, we're already operating that way. And we do
Mhm.
it so synchronistically
Yeah.
that it's like we've done this thousands of times before. So
Lifetimes before.
yeah,
Yeah.
so and just that ability, and even to the point where it's like, well, if the group really wanted to go do this, well, some of them can go do it and some of us can just stay behind. There's that flexibility and inflexibility to
Mhm.
possibilities, and yeah, and everyone's included. Everyone gets to have a say in what goes on. And
Yeah.
so you may not say any words, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna know.
And
That's
me
one of
too.
my
We're
abilities,
gonna read the
right?
room,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
which
So
is really about, like, I believe with groups that
mhm.
there's never a mistake. Every single person, every single
Yeah,
energy that's meant to be there is exactly what's there, and everyone has an equal portion of contribution and also what they're receiving.
right?
And that in that regard, we're holding space for everyone's experience, including our own.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There will be laughter and there will be tears. Yeah,
yeah,
it's all part of the human experience, isn't it? Yeah.
it is.
So,
So bring
much
your
love,
whole self,
everybody.
and yeah, yeah, look forward to see who's picking up the call,
Right?
the
Yeah.
close to last call.
Yeah, life is an adventure. It's what you make of it. So what are you
Yeah.
waiting for? Yeah. All right. Much love, everybody. Yeah, big
Mhm.
hugs.